Good evening, grinders. So yesterday we were speeding, right? We were in our car, fast car, we were speeding, racing down the road. Today we hit a speed bump. Or, even better yet, we got pulled over by the police, and Chair Powell was the police today. So let's take it to the scoreboard so we see exactly what happened today. So we did see new highs in the S&P 500, but it closed down just over 0.5% today. Nasdaq was down almost 1% for the day. Dow Jones hit a new high, but down not too much, 0.19%. And Russell hit a new high today as well, down 0.24% for the day. But I did mention that Powell was the police today and kind of told the stock market to slow your roll, slow back down, because he was at a conference or publicly speaking today, and someone made a comment and asked him about the high valuations of equities or stocks, and he quote said they were fairly high valued, and I believe the market didn't like that, and so we saw a sell-off, especially in tech industry and sector, and we'll get to some of the specific stocks here in just a moment. But we had Trump speaking today, we had Powell speaking, and a lot of volatility. And unfortunately, for majority of the stocks that we hold in our portfolio, if not all of them, maybe a few there were green. The market took a dip today, but that's good. It's healthy, especially if it is true some of the valuations a little over their skis. So it's good to correct, allow some people to make some money. Then maybe you get some new buyers coming in, or people want to add on to their existing positions wherever the share prices are right now. We definitely got into the market. I will say, if you don't have any shares of Amazon, they're at a attractive price right now. As always, don't buy all in at once. Have a plan. And if you want to learn that plan and understand what it means to not buy all in at once, definitely jump in the Patreon. It's only $10 a month. Or you could jump in for free and post a lot of relevant information like that for free in the Patreon. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, Amazon, I like where it's sitting at right now. We actually jumped into an option contract as well. You can see us jump in real time and get the same price as we do. So let's look at some individual stocks. We were just talking about Amazon, so let's go to Amazon. So today we're down 3%, pretty much off, close to its low of $220.07. Past 5 days is down just under 6%. Past month down 3.5%. But it's sitting around below that 10% threshold, right? So I think, just me, I'm telling you what I did. It is a great time to start adding shares, or if you like to get busy in the options, maybe you should consider getting into some options. And I did jump into an option play today, so definitely jump in Patreon and see exactly what we jumped into. I will say that we did get into an option play last week, and that one is not doing well. I'm still kind of pondering if I want to add on to it or just kind of let it ride a little bit longer, or sometimes you gotta take the L. But we got time on the contract. It's not like it's expiring in the next week or next month, so I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with that one. But I love the one that we got in today. It's a little bit longer. All right, let's talk about Microsoft. So Microsoft I saw today because I was looking at a company, Vertiv, and they are a partner with NVIDIA with the data center build out. They supply the liquid cooling. We've talked about Vertiv before. Well, Microsoft today is jumping in Vertiv's lane. Hopefully it was gonna come up. I don't think it's gonna come up. It never does when I want to show it to you guys. But Microsoft is rolling out their own version of liquid cooling. I think it's in Vertiv's. Yep. Vertiv stock falls after Microsoft reveals breakthrough chip cooling tech. So I read a little bit and I saw one person's beliefs that Vertiv is still fine. What they're doing is still going to be a need for that. Microsoft is kind of working on something more specialized with this liquid cooling, but I need to do a little bit more research, really dive in and see what's going on. Maybe I'll adjust. Vertiv is one of my bigger plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was in the top 5. So maybe I consider rolling that one down and taking some profits from where it is right now. I know a lot of my shares are up, or I wouldn't say a lot, but a decent amount of them are up over 100% since I've been holding onto them for a while. So maybe it could be time for me to exit. So I'll do a little bit more research, and that's why we research. We don't want to just hold these things blindly and not really understand what's going on a daily basis, or however often we can check in on the companies we're invested in. But you're an investor, you're an owner of that business, so you want to make sure that you know that they're operating um, like they should. Your money depends on it. Otherwise, you just have your money planting someplace that you can either be just sitting still or losing. That's the last thing you want. So make sure you do some research on the companies that you are invested in, and that's what I'm going to do with this one and act accordingly. But Vertiv today was down 6% because of that information. Obviously, it was down today because the entire market was down. Nvidia was down 3%, and they tend to travel and trade together. So if one is down big like that, the other one is probably down the same. Like again, Nvidia was down just under 3% today. They got beat up pretty nicely. Meta, Meta. 750. 750 is where I'm looking at to start adding in. I've been waiting patiently for this thing to head back to 750. It did hit it about a month ago, but at that time I wanted to play Meta. I ended up jumping into QQQ, which you can see right here. And I played it that way because Meta was so expensive. But we've had some progress since the past month. September has treated us very well, so I'm looking at Meta. I'm loading up to take advantage of this thing. Today it was down as low as 751.07 cents. If it hits that 750 mark or below, we're getting busy with Meta. I already have a decent amount of long shares. Maybe I'll get some long shares as well, but I'm talking specifically an option, and it's not going to be cheap. It's probably going to be about $45 per contract, and that's $4,500 for one contract total. So we're going to get busy with that one. Hopefully we get a little bit of a dip in the morning and we touch that 750 and we just take off from there. But that's some free game for you guys. Meta 750. If you don't have any shares, I would consider getting it in. Put some money aside. Don't take that trip. Get you some shares in Meta. You'll be surprised where they'll be a year or two from now. All right, Palo Alto. We're going to just go down the companies we have options in. Palo Alto is down just under 2.5%. Amazon, we talked about. Palantir, this is one of the green. Palantir got kicked around, I believe, yesterday. It's kind of opposite. The market ran yesterday, and Palantir didn't do too much, I don't think. And then today, it bounced back, almost up 2% today. That's pretty strong. I didn't get a chance to read. I was traveling today to see what pushed this one higher as everything else was falling. Well, let's see. Is Tesla up today? No, Tesla's down 2%. I was going to say sometimes I'll just go to see what Tesla's doing just to see what type of day it was. Tesla just does what it wants to do. But that was good to see Palantir. Uber down just over 1.5%. DraftKings. Now, I believe there was quite a few upsets, especially the Monday night game, Go Lions. And so that should be favorable for DraftKings this week. But I did just read a report and some research that week 1 and week 2 for the NFL kind of kicked DraftKings in the mouth, and they ran this promotion where I'm not sure how many legs you had to have in the promotion, but if one of the legs did not hit, you still got paid for your money, or at least you got your money back. I think you still got paid. And so that one lost them, I think it said like estimated $8 to $20 million on that promotion. So probably just deploy something to do to get, they knew they were going to lose money, something to get everybody to get into DraftKings the first week when you have so many options. You get people in, give them some money to play with, and they start adding on, and they're with you throughout the season. That's probably the ploy. But week 1 and week 2, the outcomes weren't beneficial for the sports book either. So, but I'm still going to. I'm not going to lose a lot of money, but I'm going to stomp my feet and stomp my hands and scream and shout DraftKings. It did this to me last year. It spiked up. It didn't last long, but it made me like 200+% in a very short amount of time. And so I think it's going to be one of those opportunities again. Not something to put a ton of money in, but DraftKings is definitely going to be a winner in the next 6 to 12 months. Mark my words. QQQ, we took half of that one out before Powell spoke, just in case there was some silliness after the meeting. And so that contract did really well for us. And then QQQ has been doing very well as of recently, especially as tech's been going off. And then Apple has definitely made some money for us in the past month or so. Whenever the folks on television are talking crap about Apple, I love that, because that's usually the time where I'm loading up, because these people are idiots. I've made more money in Apple in my long-term portfolio and an options portfolio, I believe, than any other company by far. Apple is the best. Tim Cook, I trust. But we'll go over some more. Just know today is just one of those days. It's natural. Don't be in a panic. We're still good. We're still fighting the good fight. We still have some good contracts. If you've jumped in any contracts with me, let me know how they're performing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.